You're still good.
Yeah.
You're still God. You're still good. You're still God. You're still good. And you're still God. You're still good. And you're still God. You're saying
You're still good. You're still God. You're still good. You're still God.
you're still good.
You're still good. You're still God. You're still good.
Y'all remember the second part? It's like wait, no good luck.
Jesus went to Calvary to save a wretch like you and me. That's love. That's love. Jesus went to Calvary to save a wretch like you and me. That's love. That's love.
Jesus went to Calvary to save a wretch like you and me. That's love. That's love. Jesus went to Calvary to save a wretch like you and me. That's love. That's love. Jesus went to Calvary to save a wretch like you and me. That's love. That's love. They hung him high, they stretched him wide. He hung his head for me. He died. That's love. That's love. They hung him high, they stretched him wide. He hung his head for me. He died. That's love. That's love. They hung him high, they stretched him wide. He hung his head for me. He died. That's love. That's love. They hung him high, they stretched him wide. He hung his head for me. He died. That's love. That's love. All right. That's now come on, the story is. Come on, girl. For in 3 days, he rose again. That's love. That's love.
Jesus went
Sing it,
to
girl.
Calvary
Yeah.
to save
Sing
a
out, sing out.
wretch
Yeah.
like you and me. That's love.
Yeah.
That's love. Jesus went to Calvary to save a wretch like you and me. That's love. That's love.
Yes. Amen.
Give honor and pay respect to the woman that gave me birth, my mom. For the last couple months, we've been dealing with her eye issue. She was supposed to have surgery a couple months ago, but that got canceled because of her blood pressure. And if anybody's had any kind of surgery, you know you have to go through pre-op and you have to go through all kind of testing. Her blood pressure kept stopping this surgery from happening. Her blood pressure in the left arm, which is the the dominant arm, was ranging over 200. Bottom number was over 100. She kept saying that's normal for her. And I know when she watches on next Sunday or Saturday, and she's an avid watcher of Time of Praise. She watches it every Saturday. So I know she's going to say something to me, she's going to get me. But that's okay. So the anesthesiologist saw how high her blood pressure was. Anesthesiologist. That's the one that puts you to sleep if you don't know. That's the one that puts you to sleep, knocks you out. So her blood pressure at that time was reading 220 over 110. He was like, that's not going to happen. Surgery not happen today. So I got a call. I got like 3 calls at work that day because of her blood pressure. So we done been to cardiologists. She done had test after test and everything. She does have other underlying issues, but it was her blood pressure that was keeping her from getting this surgery done because he didn't want her to pass out. Anybody knows numbers that high, stroke, heart attack. So he was wanting to make sure her blood pressure was under control. And the song was singing, what a mighty God we serve, what a mighty God she serves, what my mom serves. Her faith and her testimony on this is beyond what I can even imagine. She wasn't worried about it. She wasn't concerned about it. She kept saying, oh, that's how my blood pressure always is. It's always like that. It goes up and down, up and down. So she finally got cleared to have her surgery. So on Thursday, she was able to have her surgery. So we had to be in Norwalk. Yes, she had that surgery. 5 o'clock in the morning. Y'all know I don't do highways. He can tell you that I don't drive highways. 5 o'clock in the morning, we are on our way to Norwalk. And she just talking. So I figured she was a little nervous, but all the while, I know she was praying. And she was asking God to just take control. She kept saying while she was talking, she would stop. I'm not worried about it. Everything, I'm going to be all right. And I kept listening as she was talking and just listening. All the while, I know she's praying the whole time. So we get there, and this surgery was 3 hours long. The first part of it was 45 minutes. They had to inject a bubble in her eye just so the doctor can see behind her eye. She had a coronary transplant. So the doctor came in and said, 45 minutes, done early. That's part 1. 2 hours later, he comes back in. He said, I'm ready to go to part 2. About an hour and a half later, he comes back in. He sits down. He scoots up to me. He said, surgery went fine, but there was a problem. Her blood pressure. Blood pressure, again, was up to 210 over 110. That wasn't good. So he's telling me that they just kept pumping medications in there, just getting it and getting it. So they got it down to where it was 202 over 100, which still isn't good because you're not supposed to go home. He said, if I send her home, I don't want nothing to happen. So if it doesn't come down, we're going to keep her. So I said, okay. So as I sat there and I got to praying, and I'm in Norwalk now. Never been to this hospital before. I am in Norwalk, if y'all know where Norwalk is. So I'm sitting there in this room, and I see all the nurses just sitting there. And I'm just sitting and I'm just praising, and I'm just thanking God for everything that he has brought me through, for everything that he has brought my mom through, because I knew everything was going to be all right. I was thanking him, just thanking him. and the presence just came over me. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to hold it. I didn't want to get up and just start acting. You know, we can come on you. So sooner or later, here come my mom coming in. Blood pressure had went down. Still was high, 188/90, which is still high, but it was good enough for her to go home. She still was not worried about that surgery in that eye because she was still yet praising God. She came in and the first thing she said, Phyllis, did you eat? Did you have your coffee? I'm like, Mom, why are you worried about me? You need to be worried about yourself. And this surgery calls you to stay on your back for 24 hours, up to the bathroom and back to bed. This lady laying here just turned her head. Like, Mom, you're not supposed to be doing that. She wasn't worried about that because she knew God had her. God had her all the time. And just listening at her, going through that, even though she was nervous and she was scared, but yet God was still there with her. So I thank God. I truly thank God for that. I thank God. Now, when I was asked to speak some months ago by Miss Rose, and I truly thank God. And I give honor to you.
Whatever reason.
This one stood out more so than all the other scriptures that I was reading. And it says, iron sharpeneth iron. So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. And I was thinking on that, and I'm like, iron sharpens iron. What exactly does that mean? So I would think on it, and then I would leave it alone, still asking God to show me and to give me words to say on today. And yet and still, it didn't happen, and y'all know, until last night and this morning. And God will do that. He will do that. And I'm going to go ahead and throw up my subject, just giving a little speech today. I'm going to go ahead and throw my subject up. And it's iron sharpens iron, and it's coming from this scripture. Hashtag, one person sharpens another. So when I got to, I'm learning and still learning. So I wanted to know just a little bit about what it was saying. And in the English translation, it's a positive message related to friendship. And that's exactly what the Lord has been dealing with me about, is relationships and friendships, all different kind. Not just in people that you know and people that you come in contact, but also with family, because family is friends. So he's just been dealing with me about particular things. And it says, it's a positive related to friendship, This is due primarily to the connotations of the English verb to sharpen. To sharpen sometimes usually means to make it better and more efficient. So I thought about the iron, and I don't know what those guys are called that are dealing with the iron when they stick those poles in that hot fire. Blacksmiths? The blacksmiths. So it brought me to memory on that, how they take those poles and they stick it into the iron, and it gets so hot, so they have to bring it back out. And they start pounding and pounding and pounding away at it to make it a certain way, to shape it out. And that's what we have to do with our relationships and our friendships. We have to keep going, and we have to make it and mold it into what we feel like it needs to be. But at the same time, you got to make sure God is in it at all times. At all times. When I think of iron, it reminds me of that, just what I said. Just like in a friendship or relationship, you have to work on it, you have to form it, you have to build it. And again, without God in it, it's not going to happen. Just what does iron mean spiritually? Classically known as the metal of Mars, has been universally perceived as the symbol of human strength. And that's something that we all need right now. Honor, courage, sharpness of the mind and body, tenacity, and confidence in power. And if we put all that, like those blacksmiths put in, hammering that iron, if we put all that into our relationships, just imagine how far we can go. Just imagine that. So if someone comes up to you and say, hey, I need to talk to you. or you are feeling somebody, and you may look at them in a certain way and say, something ain't right. Maybe I should just go and talk to them and just see what's going on with them. Sometimes they may say, well, let me get back with you. Getting back with you might not happen. Might not happen at all.
Time of Praise with Superintendent Henry J. Bradley Jr., Saturday at 1 p.m., Sunday morning worship at 11:15 a.m., and midweek Bible study Wednesday at 6 p.m. A church in the community, for the community, showing the love of God to the community. Superintendent Henry J. Bradley Jr., Senior Pastor, and elect lady Alice Bradley.
Yeah. Yo. They say time heals all wounds. I don't know if that's true. Whoever said it, they ain't walking my shoes. They ain't look through my eyes, they don't see from my view. See, I've been hurting for a while and still I try to push through. And ever since I changed, homie, it ain't been the same. A lot of cats that rock with me, switched up and changed. And I've been covered by the sun, but still I feel the rain. And I've been having good times, still I feel the pain. But I'm just trying to make another 24 like a shot clock. Time ticking down daily like a stopwatch. Everybody's eyes on me like the block high. Hoping that I fell with God, I know that I'm not. Hey, by His grace, I made it through.
One thing that stands out to you about your character?
Well, I'm just going to say I'm a self-made millionaire.
Whoa. Okay. And Nina, what's your character's name?
My character's name is Evangelist Yolanda.
Evangelist. Okay, that's going to cover a lot of area as well. Can you give me one thing about your character that stands out about you?
She loves the Lord, and she loves God's people.
And she loves God's people. Okay. Well, for both Felicia and Nina, is this your first time being in a Tiger Bradley production? My goodness.
It is for me, I am so excited. This cast, oh my God.
Tell me something about, what's so special about this cast?
Well,
hold on. Did you start out, I know that you guys know each other, but now, is it more like a family?
It is like a family.
Like a family.
And each person that he picked to portray who they portray, he nailed it.
Wow.
He nailed it.
Wow. And Felicia, why should people come? It's a Sunday afternoon rather. And why should people come to the play?
Well, seeing the time and ages that we're living in with the COVID and everything, a lot of us been in, shelter. When you come out, I believe that you're going to experience something from each and every last one of us. You're going to find somebody is going to find themselves within this play.
Within the play, my goodness. So, again, the name of the play, Hurt and Healed, Chapter 3. And when you deal with chapters, it means that more chapters are to come. So I know I'm so excited about this play. The date again is Sunday, June 13th. Doors open at 3. The play starts at 5. Now, refreshments will be served. We understand that. And it's early as 2 o'clock, so people certainly don't want to miss that. What do you think this will be the last play that Tiger Bradley does?
Oh, no.
No, Felicia?
Oh,
Why?
no.
Why is that?
Because I've been with Tiger for some years now. I was in a play with him previously. Well, maybe 2 or 3, maybe about, probably more than that.
Okay.
Probably about 4 plays that I've been in.
Okay.
And I went into retirement.
Okay.
We call him our Tiger Perry.
Okay.
That's what we call
Tyler
him,
Perry. Awesome.
Our Tiger Perry. He brings out and he knows how to get his character.
Right,
He can pick you from up out of there and he'd be like, you can play this.
Wow.
And he's always on point.
Okay.
I came out of retirement to honor Kay.
Kay. Now, who is Kay?
Kay, she is Kay Smith. She was a member of this church.
Okay.
And a lot of people know Kay in the neighborhoods, in the community.
Yes.
She was in the first play and the second play as well, The Hurt and the Healed.
Hurt and Healed. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Nina, is there anything that you'd like to share, one last tidbit that it's going to get people to come to the play?
I can say this much. You will laugh.
Okay.
You will cry.
Wow.
And you will look forward to when the next production comes along.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
It
All
is
right.
that good.
It's
Trust
that
me.
good.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Ladies, thank you. Thank you for your time.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Be blessed.
Well, you picked the best.